You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
We have a deal. We have a deal. A $2 trillion coronavirus relief package. The Republicans and Democrats finally played nice and smart because there was an adult in the room representing the White House, Steve Mnuchin, treasurer. So just before 1 o'clock this morning, and they're talking about money coming directly to you. If you earn $75,000 in adjusted gross income or less, you'd get a direct payment of $1,200 each, with married couples earning up to $150,000 receiving $2,400, an additional $500 per each child. The payment would scale down by income, phasing out entirely at $99,000 for singles, $198,000 for couples without children. That's what they were working on. We don't know what the final package contains, but we will, and it will go to the House. First of all, it'll be voted on today afternoon. They're coming back after being there till early morning hours, but they'll vote on it at noon and pass it. Then it has to go to the House, ridiculously so. I'm not sure why. It's kind of reversed. And then we should be on our way. The market always reacts in advance of news, as we've learned. So the market was great yesterday, could be great today, could be all the way down in the bottom territory again. I don't think so, but we don't know. There's no way to call it. But here's what we do know, and you know this from listening at least Mondays at 7 in the evening on WJR and other times too, that Richard Paul of Richard W. Paul and Associates has a good feel for your retirement, your investments, your personal finances. And he's on the other end of our line right now. Richard, it is always a pleasure. We could use a little reassurance and a little help and frankly, holding the course steady and not panicking. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning. And that's why I did the webinar, 5 Reasons to Not Panic, which I believe is posted on your website now.
All right. That's good to know at WJR.com. What are the 5 reasons not to panic? And what I'll add to that, what are the 5 things we should be doing right now during the coronavirus crash?
Well, basically, starting with pandemics, they create what we call this V-shaped recovery. But what the problem is that people are looking for the bottom of the V, and that's a mistake, and so we can talk more about that. But in the economy, this is not a 2008. People forget the economy was on fire prior to the coronavirus, and then the third thing, and you just talked about it, we have a deal. We have a stimulus package now that I think will go a long ways. I mean, just on the anticipation of this thing going through, we had our best day yesterday since 1933, 2,100 points, up 11%, S&P up 9.4, best day since 2008. And so if we were trending toward a bottom, this could be it. But I'm not making that prediction. I mean, as we talk about daily, these death counts and cases just seem to keep mushrooming. I can't keep up with the numbers. They change every 5 minutes. And so I sound dated every time I say a number because I find out that the number's grown. But this stimulus is something that was really badly needed. And the fourth thing is we don't benchmark to the markets as retirees. For retirees, we can talk more about that. People always say, well, the S&P did this, and they're always happy when the S&P underperforms and you're not going down with the S&P. But when it overperforms and you're properly allocated, you're not going to get that same return. And the last one is the world is not coming to an end. As I said on one of my radio shows, the famous Abraham Lincoln quote, this too shall pass. And we will get through this.
That is correct. This too shall pass. It doesn't make it any easier for people finding out that they now are stricken with coronavirus, like Prince Charles and like the president of Harvard. He and his wife are now testing positive for the coronavirus. It does show us that it strikes anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't think that really that Prince Charles is that accessible to the public, but obviously he's out and about and had to get it somehow. And then he, at 71, has to really worry, and he certainly has to worry about not having his mother get it from him.
Absolutely, no question. There are no socioeconomic barriers here, and now it looks like there's going to be a big push on the Olympics to the next year here, and so it's definitely having an impact globally. I mean, like nothing I think we've ever seen.
I think absolutely right. Nothing we've ever seen. And, people who've been around a long time have seen a lot of things. They have seen scarlet fever. They have seen polio. They've seen a lot. But nothing quite like this.
No question. And, because we were just talking about this earlier with another one of my CFAs, and we're talking about this crossover line where we're shutting down the economy, and the problem is that could cause more of a problem than the disease itself. And so when Trump talks about getting this thing back online this Easter, at some point, especially with this stimulus package going through, we've got to get this economy back going again. We can't keep this country on a complete lockdown, or the cure is going to be more of a problem than the actual disease itself. And so I'm so happy to see this thing go through for the folks, for all of us.
Yep. It's, and the president was not demanding that it end Easter. He said he hopes it's over by Easter. He would love it if it were over by Easter. There are people who don't believe it will be, but there's a heck of a lot of people who hope it will be. And that goes for a lot of people. Thanks for the, where can we find the 5 Reasons Not to Panic? Do you put that out? Is that online somewhere?
Yeah, you can just go to the website, rwpaul.com, and download it right from there. In fact, also on the website, you can go down and scroll down to the bottom, click on the Facebook page. We're going to be offering for our listeners today a 15-minute free consultation for the WJR listeners. So if you're out there listening, you're not sure about this marketplace, or you're a retiree and you're just not sure that you're allocated properly, or you've jumped out and gone into cash. We've seen that happen. And now you're wondering when to get back in, and that brings in the whole market timing issue. Almost impossible to try to time this market. Are you kidding me? It's just it just never works.
Right.
But you give us a call. Talk to one of our 7 certified financial planners, and 15 minutes, no cost, and see if we can't give you a little bit more of an insight or perspective on what the next moves might be for you.
Find Richard W. Paul and Associates on social media, Facebook, online, and listen to them Monday nights at 7, Saturday mornings at 9 here on News Talk 760 WJR. Richard, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Thanks for the help.
You betcha, and thank you.
From Paul W. to Richard W. Paul.
All matters discussed during this show are for informational purposes only and shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or investment advisory services to residents of any state other than Michigan. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Investment advisory services offered through Richard W. Paul and Associates, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance services offered through Midwest Financial Consultants, Inc.